at the Talking with Robert podcast. Here with me is Celest Valdez. How you doing,
I'm
Celeste?
fine. Hi, Robert. Thank you for having me
No
today.
problem, no problem. So we're just gonna hop right into it. Explain what you do for work.
Sure. So I'm a financial coach. I have my own business, and basically I help people get out of debt, and also I help them to create wealth.
Okay.
There is an opportunity for you to work with me, which makes my line of work interesting and a little bit different from what you would expect from a financial coach.
Okay.
But another thing that is kind of unique to my job is that I'm here all the time for, to talk to you or to mentor you, to coach you, to be for like where you want to be as far as
Okay.
in the future or right now.
So you guide them like through like every process of like building wealth, getting out of debt and stuff like that, and you're like always there for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Who was your biggest client so far?
Surprisingly, my biggest client is my husband. He's a businessman. He finally found something that he wanted to do. He loves cars. So he does Turo.
Okay.
And he is pretty busy. Like, it's a pretty good business,
Can you explain it some more?
Yeah, so Turo is a car rental business,
Okay.
kind of like enterprise,
All right.
but it's all run online.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all
okay.
virtual. So you don't have to go into like a business and check in. You just check in online and then you pick up the car and you go.
Okay.
It's pretty neat. And so he's always been busy. So if you remember a couple of years back, there was a big, huge shortage of cars.
Right.
Not only was it a shortage to clients, but also to the dealerships. Like if people needed to like have their car fixed and they need to lend out the car at the dealer, they couldn't do that. So they looked to third parties.
Oh.
And so that would be like Turo.
Okay. That's honestly pretty good when it comes to like renting cars, like during the pandemic and everything, when everything was kind of going through a shortage. I would say that that would have been really nice for me to have.
It was a challenge to get there,
Right.
because you have to have a certain credit score to get approved to buy those cars.
Right.
There's a fleet like of 5 cars now.
Oh,
So
what?
he worked hard, he did a lot of research and he likes it.
I can get behind that. Going back to like San Antonio, like what are some of the big things that you like about San Antonio?
Well, I was born and raised here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've been in San Antonio all my life. I love that you can do everything like as a big city, but also we have the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the hill country is so beautiful. Like so many people want to live there. Actually,
Right.
I'm going to look at a property next weekend. So I'm excited about that. It's waterfront. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that opportunity. You're close to the water and you could go to the beach like anytime, just hop in the car.
Oh, bro, look, let me tell you something about San Antonio. It's like a big melting pot. You get like everybody from all walks of life.
Exactly.
That hill country,
Right.
especially when like you're listening like some country. Look, man, let me tell you something. Like I like a lot of rap music, but you cannot get rid of that scenic view when you listen to country, man.
You can. And to be honest, I played the fiddle for a while in a country music band. So I'm
Oh, really?
I'm in it. I'm like literally, like the heart, the meaning of San Antonio.
So what? Wait, you were in a band for real?
I've been in many bands, yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I played the violin. It started, classical music like everybody does, the orchestra, the symphony at school. Took private lessons from like the head of the San Antonio Symphony. So I had a really great upbringing, I had the opportunity. Not all people have, are able to do that, but my mother sacrificed, so that I could do that, and she really gave me enthusiasm to keep it going because she noticed that I had a talent,
Right.
So we went, we did some traveling kind of around the world. We did like exchange programs like with Mexico and Germany, and I've been to a lot of different states in the United States as well.
Okay. Look, man, that's incredible. I like that.
Yeah.
What are some things you think would make San Antonio better for everyone?
That's a good question, Robert. And I think about that pretty often. Like, we are diverse, and I love that, right? But we still have a ways to go as far as education in our community. We're working at it. Like, we have some really great companies, like AT&T, Chase, and things like that, like Frost Bank. They're working towards diversity and equity inclusion, but we have a little bit of ways to go as far as equity. Now, I don't know if you've heard about how they're expanding the airport, the San Antonio airport. They're gonna make it like kind of like a global airport, so it'll be a lot nicer.
Really?
So they have huge plans, and then also that, and then they have a plan for the Alamo where they're gonna like revitalize it, but there's one person that's stopping the plan where he doesn't want to give up his business. So they're kind of working toward that, and I can totally feel,
like you've been there for a minute now,
like
and now you just want to get kicked out.
Yeah, like he has his business there, but San Antonio has a lot to gain from making that. But that guy doesn't have much to gain.
Right,
he's gonna be out of business.
I need you to cut me a big check.
Well, exactly. But we're working on it, so we'll get there. It just takes time, and it's like step by step. Like, you literally have to look at what are your actions personally.
Right.
What are you doing to improve yourself and also the people around you?
Okay. So going back to education, like what do you mean by like I know our education system, like as a country right now, isn't the best at all.
Especially Houston.
Houston. But like specifically in San Antonio, like what would you want to see change in our public school areas?
Well, and this is something that I'm actually working on right now. I'm very blessed to have family that cares, and they're part of other agencies. And I don't want to say the name right now because it's something that's huge in the works.
Okay.
But I at my other job, I do work with schools like Lee, and I created a whole program where it shows high school students how to take their next step after high school. Like, do you want to go into the workforce, or do you want to go into college? And it shows them everything that they need to know. So it's pretty comprehensive, and we mentor them every month. So I'm looking to do something kind of like that, kind of to target kids at the high school age.
Okay.
Because at that point they are a little bit receptive as to, okay, what am I going to do in my future?
Right.
Like there's so much pressure on them. I feel so badly for these kids. Like, I remember what it was like to feel that pressure. Like, I can't even imagine myself after high school. Like, it's hard. So it's so helpful to have a mentor, coach, like somebody like me, to just guide you kind of step by step and just to talk about it. Like,
is college the right option for you, or are you more military minded, or do you want to like go into a trade or something like that? Like, just giving people, or like giving these young men and women like let's say cap space to transition into an area that they feel is like right for them, right?
Exactly. Like, you have to think of the economy that we're in right now. Like, in this economy, you can't just have one job. You're not gonna make it. I mean, even if you have a partner,
tell me about it.
I mean, you're blessed to have a partner, if you have somebody that that to support you like that. But even then, it's hard.
It's still hard.
A lot of people have a side hustle. So this is kind of like what I do as a coach, which hopefully I'll be doing it full time eventually, But like the 9 to 5 is like, no,
No.
It's not so much in these, like, if we look at the people that are younger than us, they're moving away from that and they want to have more ownership. And the neat thing about what I do is that you could own your own business and you can even pass that on to generations and generations. And so that's equity. That's equity right there.
Yeah. I'm a really big proponent of generational wealth. You know, if you can have that like nest egg for your family and pass that on, I believe like that's how we're going to move on past past the crisis of, you know, despondency. You know,
we need to break barriers.
Yeah, and to break barriers as well. I truly believe in that. Do you have any long-term goals for yourself?
Oh, I have so many goals. Long term, I would love to coach full time.
Okay.
So, also, well, this more of a short term is like every day I try to improve myself 1%.
1%.
Like today, we're talking about something that could be good for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, a lot of people will hear. So, is it uncomfortable? Yeah, maybe it can be uncomfortable, but we're both making the effort. Right. And so, hopefully I'll have that property that has access to the water, waterfront property. So that'll be really nice.
Hey, man, look, long-term goal for me, house. I need a house. That's what I'm looking forward to in the next 5 years.
Good for you.
What is agile methodology? I saw that on your page on LinkedIn. I just wanted to have some more. I want you to expand upon that.
Sure. So agile methodology is something that banks are starting to use. And basically, like when you think about agility, like kind of like flexibility. Right. So you have a lot of tasks that you could be working on at the same time. Mm. When it comes to agile, you have to think, okay, what's the one that needs my attention now? Mm. So you could have like different tiers, like something now, and then something that's not as urgent, and then something, okay, well, it's 3 months. So you just have to be able to like identify what I need to do now to take care of this issue, and who are the right people that I need to take care of that right
now.
Because then you're able to kind of advocate for yourself. Okay, well, if I'm doing technical writing, okay, well, here's the expert in like English. He's an English major. Well, I didn't know. Okay, does this make sense? Did what I create like a policy or procedure? Can you go over it? Yeah, and then you have the person that is the architect of the website. Okay, well, can you look at my coding and make sure that when I publish it to the website, is it going to be right? So it's like a whole different layers of, how you get that.
Different people doing different things to make everything just come together. Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
It's pretty neat. We work with lean as well. Certain teams are lean. Mm. And by lean, it means like cut out the fluff and don't be repetitive. Just be straight to the point. So I like that. I love it. It makes it easy for me.
Hey, man, look, whatever makes it easier for people, when people have like easy accessibility, it just seems like it keeps moving forward in society. Tell me more about Prime America. We talked about that a month ago.
Yeah.
So can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, well, I love Prime America because, well, they're basically like the platform that I use, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at it like from a business perspective, that's like the system that I use, like to program all my stuff, right? Okay. But it's faith-based, okay, which I love that because God first, right? And so that's like the heart of our company is integrity. I always want to do the right thing for people. And I'll talk about that in a second, about doing the right thing. And then after faith-based is family-based. Mm. It's because your family is always going to come before your work or your business, right? Like eventually maybe you'll have kids or you're going to realize there's a balance. So I never really found a place that was put your faith first. Like, what employers do that? There's none of them. But when you think about situations like 911, So, for example, one of the services that we offer is life insurance, right? But it very sad things that happen like 9/11. You know, I hate to say this, but people committed suicide. People were killed, but we covered them. Other insurances they didn't want to cover because they said it was a terrorist act or act of war.
Right.
But we did cover those people, and we paid out, and we pay out like within 2 weeks.
Okay.
But things like, for example, Uvalde, the shooting that happened at the school, it's very, very sad. But Primerica, what we did was we looked at all the names of those children, and we called the people because they actually had policies with us.
Right.
And we said, we don't have like the, autopsy or, we don't have the death certificate yet, but that's okay. We know that this is the person and we want to take it upon ourselves, and we're going to go ahead and
So Primerica reached out first.
Reached out.
Yeah.
And so I feel like very proud to be able to represent in a company that's faith-based and, integrity, and we take action where it's needed because those situations are so unimaginable.
Right. Yeah. Can you describe some of the challenges, going back to agile methodology, can you describe some of the challenges you faced during that, using that, like any feedback to like your stakeholders, product owners, and designers?
Yeah. So when I went on a project in technical writing, excuse me, it was challenging because sometimes we can have urgent issues and you could be overloaded, like with work. There's so much work that everybody is doing their own job, and you don't have the ability to jump in and say, hey, I need help here. They can't stop what they're doing because they have an urgent matter.
Right.
So it's a matter of like, okay, well, at that point you have to go to your higher up and say, oh, well, I'm having this issue. How can I deal with this person that is just coming on board with us? And
Right.
so that did happen to me where my manager is like, okay, you need to tell them this is what you need to do. And then this. And she gave me like the 3 steps and she's like, you can do this. You got this. and this person, I'm talking to like a vice president,
right.
And I'm telling her, okay, well, this is how it works. And this is how it's going to be.
Okay.
It can be kind of awkward, No, but you got to be uncomfortable to grow, right?
You have to be uncomfortable. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
There you go.
Let's go. How do you measure success of your projects and the impact they have on the baking industry and your clients?
Well, let me tell you, I just released a product that I was part of.
Oh, really?
I'm so excited. So if you have a bank and you see in your transactions paying for,
that's you?
That's me.
Hey.
I just got the terms of service the other day.
Let's go.
So when it comes back to diversity, equity, inclusion, we're talking about that equity where you're giving like minorities a better chance of being approved for, a larger payment that, okay, well, yeah, maybe I will be able to make that purchase because my bank offers the pay in full.
Hey.
But you don't have to get a credit card, It's not a loan. Well, it's kind of like a loan.
It's kind of like a loan.
But it's paid for. And you see that with things like Klarna. PayPal started offering it.
Okay.
But like the bank that I work with, they just started to offer it. So I'm very proud, It's not, we're not going to have immediate gains or, not going to have immediate, how would I say?
Immediate
reward, I guess.
Return on investment.
Yeah, return.
Yeah.
But it'll be in the future, right?
Right.
It'll be soon in the future because we've seen how substantial an impact something like that could have. I love using the paying for. I use it.
Okay.
PayPal, Amazon,
So it's like a loan service?
It's kind of like a loan, but basically, so I'll walk you through it. Like you just tap the transaction, and then if you have basically a good history, then it'll say, would you like to pay this $100 payment in 4 over 4 weeks?
Over 4 weeks. Okay.
So you split it up, or it could be like over 4 months, something like that.
Okay. Okay. That could actually help a lot of people.
It could, like, say for example, I need a bike or something.
Right.
Or I don't know, I need a shed, so I'm gonna buy a shed and then I'm gonna pay them for it.
Paid in for.
It's improvement, you know.
I like it. I like it a lot. Can you share some innovative solutions you have implemented to improve the user experience in banking? We just covered that. It was the pay in for. You just put that in the system.
Let me tell you, I'm working on something else.
You're working on something else.
I'm project manager heart, right?
Right.
So, but it's more focused on products. I'm on a project right now where we look at root cause analysis. So we look at our business customers. Okay, well, what are they struggling in? Oh, well, it could be a matter of, they need to get straight to the person who deals with loans. So what's the fastest way that we could get them to that person without having to go through like a business representative or,
right.
So I would look at all the things in my bank and to see how it can be improved, because there's always room for improvement, right?
Right.
Just like with us, there's always room for improvement. But I'm really happy that I'm able to do that, and I'm really grateful that sometimes I just have to take a step back and take a breath and say, wow, I've been granted so many opportunities, and I'm just thankful for them.
It's hard to see everything when everything's up close. What advice would you give to the other product managers who are looking to adopt the agile methodology in their own work?
I would say be open to being uncomfortable doing something that you might not want to do.
Okay.
Because I've been there. Just like last year, they assigned me to a different role. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but now I realize the benefits of, I was in a supervisor role and I learned so much more, and so now it's just going to take me to my next role, and it's going to make me that much better.
Okay, just accept that responsibility.
Just accept it.
Okay, I like it. What do you see as the future for the agile methodology in the banking industry, and how do you see your role evolving in the coming years?
It's a good one. AI is here.
It's here. It's here.
It's kind of like, and the government is barely like gaining knowledge of how accepting it,
right.
and how it works. And even the people who create AI, they're not like completely in control,
right?
Because AI kind of takes over, and it's like a brain,
right?
It thinks for itself, so. That's huge.
Me and my cousin, we always talk about AI because we use it like almost all the time.
Oh, you use it a lot?
We use it a lot. Some of half of these questions are from AI because I wanted to come up with some more questions, and I was like, I don't have anything. Yeah. So let me go to ChatGPT and get some more questions for you. And let me just tell you, in the next 15 years, my Lord, I want to see it. I want to see that day.
Well, I heard that they're starting to use it in New York for facial recognition in stores for people who are offenders. They rob the store or something like that. That way they could know, okay, this person is a criminal.
Right.
They shouldn't be here. Which.
Man, I'm gonna be Will Smith and I Robot. Man,
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, a little bit. I see you went to Cornell. Tell me more about that.
I loved Cornell University. My work, they pay for our education, and I was thinking, well, where do I want to go? I kind of wanted something that university name that was a little bit more recognized, and I saw how the classes worked, and it's kind of like it's on your own time, which I've done online learning before, but it was very scheduled. Like, okay, you have to do this on Wednesday, and then this is due on Sundays. But with the Cornell, it's like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks for work.
I was worried because, like, maybe that's a little bit too much wiggle room, you know, because then I won't hold myself accountable because I'm working, have a family, you know. But actually, it's one of the best experiences that I've had with learning. Oh, really? I really loved it. I got my project management certificate from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, why should people go to Cornell other than it's like a great place to be?
It's focused on people like professionals, people who are already working. And so basically they know that you're already working. So you have limited time and most likely you already have a family, right? Mm-hmm. So it really works. During the pandemic, I said, I need to do something for myself.
Right.
And so that's what I did.
Yeah, I like that. I started school in May. Jesus.
That's great.
Thank you, Mel.
Yeah, it took me about 10 or 12 years for me to finish my bachelor's.
10 or 12 years?
But I had a family.
Oh, okay.
Life happens.
Right. Trust me, bro. Oh,
and when you have a family, life happens times 3, times 4.
Times 5. Lord in heaven.
Yeah, but I did it.
Good job now. Good job. How do you find a candidate market fit to land a good job, like in all capitals? I saw that on your profile. It said good job, something.
A candidate market fit, like for Primerica or for my bank that I work at?
Let's just say both.
Okay, so like at Primerica, it would have to be somebody who's open to doing something better for themselves, right, and also to basically be on a mission to improve other people.
Right. Okay. And for banking?
For banking, well, it's a little bit more easier. You have to, if you have never worked in banking before, you can. That's a great thing about it, is that you can. And I've coached people to get hired as well. Okay. And the only thing about that is that you do have to start as a frontline rep if you haven't done it, because you have to learn the rules and regulations. But I'm thinking pretty much anybody can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that ends the line of questioning for my part. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I wonder. So you said in 5 years you want to have your home. Mm-hmm. So like, what have you done to make those next steps?
So right now, getting this off the ground, getting the podcast off the ground, I want to see if in like a year or so, like I have an audience that I can like just talk to and like live stream with and everything else like that. So I can get sponsorships, so I can start saving like the money from there and put that all in a nest egg so I can get my house. I can get a loan right now and get a house. I don't like loans. I do not like loans. Yeah. But I think in this day and age, in the society that we live in, it's kind of an inevitability at this point. I'm just going to be smarter with the loans. Aside from that, I'm going to college. So going to college and getting like a better education for myself, because I do like to learn. I like to learn a lot about like people, places, systems that we can use to work. So when I do get my house, it's home base. It's basically it's home base. It's ready there. It's ready to go, and I'm ready to like tackle more responsibility in my life. So yeah, get more money as well. Yeah, get more money, and save it. Any more questions for me?
So have you ever? Okay, let me kind of preface this. I was going to school to be a lab tech because I was a lab tech for about 10 years. Got me nowhere. 10 years down the drain.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it was a steady schedule, steady pay, but that's literally all it was.
That's all it was. No movement? No movement up?
No movement.
Oh my God.
No. But I earned the company a lot of money, but did they ever pay me? No.
No bonus? What?
They started to, and then they're like, oh, we gave you too much bonus, so that's enough.
Oh my God.
It wasn't even that much. But I guess one thing that did impact me when I was going to school, which was like a 6-month certificate, was they said, okay, everybody is going to get a piece of paper and write down what you want to do in 5 years.
Okay.
So we all did that. And this was many years ago. And a few goals that I did was I want to own a home and go to Disneyland. And I think maybe a kind of newer car. That's not busted. And so miraculously, yeah, I did get that home in about 4 years. And like a year after I got the home, we went to Disneyland.
Hey.
And the car, I did all of it.
In like that 5 years.
In the 5 years. And I didn't, sometimes to get where you want to go, it's not a straight line.
Yes.
It's going to be up and down, sideways, left, right,
Inverted.
Yeah. But you'll get there, But I think writing it down and like speaking it and writing it into existence, it makes it happen.
It makes a difference.
It's like hold yourself accountable, So if you've never done that, I definitely recommend.
We have a goal list like on a whiteboard at my cousin's house that we go over there and work out like every day and everything like that. And we try to put goals on the board. It's like, okay, so at the end of this month, I want to have this, that, and the third. I want to look this way and lift this much. How are we gonna make this happen? So I do believe that writing down your goals is very, very important. Because without that, you don't, like, again, that line, it goes everywhere, especially if you don't have a concrete, like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. But what was your question?
Yeah, like, have you done that?
Yeah, oh yeah, have I done that? Yeah, I have.
Sorry, I kind of went around.
You're good. You're good. So, do you have anything else for me?
Just if you want to follow me on Instagram, at Valdez Coaching.
Yeah, everybody follow her on Valdez Coaching.
At Valdez.coaching. And you can see kind of some of the coaching that I do.
Yeah. What's your LinkedIn?
My LinkedIn, Celest.Valdez.
So, Celeste.Valdez, everybody. Go ahead and subscribe to both of those. Do you have a Twitter?
No Twitter.
No Twitter. Okay. Well, guys, this was it for Talking with Robert podcast for today. Thank you for joining me today on with Talking with Celeste. If you guys would like to subscribe and like the video and leave a comment, that would be greatly appreciated. And we are out.